My name is Becky. This past November, at the age of 56, I was diagnosed with ALS. ALS is a neurodegenerative disease that will leave me paralyzed, and eventually unable to breathe. ALS is 100% fatal. And there are currently only 2 very inadequate therapies on the pipeline, on the market. If Lou Gehrig was diagnosed today, he would have the same prognosis that he had over 80 years ago. It may be interesting for you to know that ALS is diagnosed at the same rate as MS, multiple sclerosis. The only difference is that people with ALS die within 2 to 5 years of the onset of their disease. It has been 1 year and 2 months since my disease. It is time to turn ALS from terminal to treatable, from merciless to manageable. There are people working tirelessly to make this happen, people with broken hearts and broken bodies. But we need our Congresspeople, people in a place of power with the platform to take action, to be our champions. There are 2 pieces of legislation, Act for ALS and the Promising Pathway Act, that will provide provisional pathways and access to drugs currently in the pipeline that are so vitally important to people such as myself. Senator Warren, I know when you put yourself 100% behind a cause, you get things done. You make things happen. For all of us living with ALS and impacted by ALS, and the scientists who have dedicated their careers to finding a cure for ALS, we need you to get 100% behind this cause. So my question is simple. Will you do everything in your power to support, to co-sponsor, to push these 2 bills through this session and rally your peers to do the same? Will you be our champion? Thank you.
Let me start by saying that we owe a great debt to Becky and to her husband Jim, who have been tireless in their advocacy, not just for Becky and because of Becky's health, but for all of the other people who are affected by ALS, who have been hit by this curse. And that I am grateful to you for raising this issue tirelessly. So let me start there. Can we all just give Becky and Jim a big hand for their work? So here's the promise I'll make to you, Becky, and that is I will do everything I can to try to help you and to try to help advance legislation that will both accelerate the treatment of ALS and that will put more research funding into ALS, into Alzheimer's, into all of the diseases that are plaguing us now. So yes.